If you're insincere, it's manipulative. Zig Ziglar. Mere longevity is a good thing for those who watch life from the sidelines. For those who play the game, an hour may be a year, a single day's work and achievement for eternity. Gabriel Hetter. Finish each day and be done with it. You have done what you could. Some blunders and absurdities no doubt crept in. Forget them as soon as you can. Tomorrow is a new day. Begin it well and serenely and with too high a spirit to be encumbered with your old nonsense. Ralph Waldo Emerson. The only way around is through. Robert Frost. Great things are not done by impulse, but by a series of small things brought together. Vincent van Gogh. I feel that the greatest reward for doing is the opportunity to do more. Jonas Salk. You've got to be before you can do, and do before you can have. Zig Ziglar. If life were measured by accomplishments, most of us would die in infancy. A.P. Guthrie. The person who gets the farthest is generally the one who is willing to do and dare. The sure thing boat never gets far from shore. Dale Carnegie. Everyone who got where he is has had to begin where he was. Robert Louis Stevenson. The gem cannot be polished without friction, nor man perfected without trials. Chinese proverb. Duty makes us do things well, but love makes us do them beautifully. Zig Ziglar. A non-doer is very often a critic, that is, someone who sits back and watches doers, and then waxes philosophically about how the doers are doing. It's easy to be a critic, but being a doer requires effort, risk, and change. Dr. Wayne W. Dyer. Do not be desirous of having things done quickly. Do not look at small advantages. Desire to have things done quickly prevents their being done thoroughly. Looking at small advantages prevents great affairs from being accomplished. Confucius. The greater the difficulty, the more glory in surmounting it. Skillful pilots gain their reputation from storms and tempests. Epictetus. We live in deeds, not years. In thoughts, not breaths. In feelings, not in figures on a dial. We should count time by heartthrobs. He most lives who thinks most, feels the noblest, acts the best. David Bailey. Success is not measured by what you accomplish, but by the opposition you have encountered, and the courage with which you have maintained the struggle against overwhelming odds. Orison Swett Marden. Remember, you can earn more money, but when time is spent, is gone forever. Zig Ziglar. The first requisite of success is the ability to apply your physical and mental energies to one problem without growing weary. Thomas Edison. Empty pockets never held anyone back. Only empty heads and empty hearts can do that. Norman Vincent Peale. It's your aptitude, not just your attitude, that determines your ultimate altitude. Zig Ziglar. Every man who is high up loves to think that he has done it all himself, and the wife smiles and lets it go at that. Sir James M. Barrie. We will either find a way or make one. Hannibal. My mother drew a distinction between achievement and success. She said that achievement is the knowledge that you have studied and worked hard and done the best that is in you. Success is being praised by others. That is nice, but not as important or satisfying. Always aim for achievement and forget about success. Helen Hayes. The best job goes to the person who can get it done without passing the buck or coming back with excuses. Napoleon Hill. High achievement always takes place in a framework of high expectation. Jack Kinder. Man is always more than he can know of himself. Consequently, his accomplishments time and again will come as a surprise to him. Golo Man. Trust yourself. Create the kind of self that you will be happy to live with all your life. Make the most of yourself by fanning the tiny, inner sparks of possibility into flames of achievement. Foster C. McClellan. I am always doing things I can't do. That's how I get to do them. Pablo Picasso. The measure of a man is the way he bears up under misfortune. Plutarch. The truth of the matter is that there's nothing you can't accomplish if 1. You clearly decide what it is that you're absolutely committed to achieving. 2. You're willing to take massive action. 3. You notice what's working or not. And 4. You continue to change your approach until you achieve what you want, using whatever life gives you along the way. Anthony Robbins. All of us perform better and more willingly when we know why we're doing what we have been told or asked to do. Zig Ziglar. Nothing is as difficult as to achieve results in this world if one is filled full of great tolerances and the milk of human kindness. The person who achieves must generally be a one-idea individual, concentrated entirely on that one idea and ruthless in his aspect toward other men and other ideas. Corinne Roosevelt, Robinson. The will to win, the desire to succeed, the urge to reach your full potential, these are the keys that will unlock the door to personal excellence. Eddie Robinson. The average estimate themselves by what they do, the above average by what they are. Johann Friedrich von Schiller. Never mistake activity for achievement. John Wooden. Everybody says they want to be free. Take the train off the tracks and it's free, but it can't go anywhere. Zig Ziglar. I love America. We've got the only system that works. It keeps everyone hustling. J.R. Simplot. The only worthwhile achievements of man are those which are socially useful. Alfred Adler. Encouraged people achieve the best. Dominated people achieve second best. Neglected people achieve the least. Anonymous. God put me on earth to accomplish a certain number of things. Right now I'm so far behind I will never die. Anonymous. If you don't climb the mountain, you can't view the plain. Anonymous. Remember that great love and great achievements involve great risk. Anonymous. Money will buy you a bed but not a good night's sleep, a house but not a home, a companion but not a friend. Zig Ziglar. The harder you fall, the higher you bounce. Anonymous. The man who wakes up and finds himself famous hasn't been asleep. Anonymous. To go beyond is as bad as to fall short. Anonymous. Lack of direction, not lack of time, is the problem. We all have 24-hour days. Zig Ziglar. To reach a great height, a person needs to have great depth. Anonymous. Nothing splendid has ever been achieved except by those who dared believe that something inside them was superior to circumstances. Bruce Barton. No bird soars too high if he soars with his own wings. William Blake. Destiny is not a matter of chance, it is a matter of choice. It is not a thing to be waited for, it is a thing to be achieved. William Jennings Bryan. Everyone is trying to accomplish something big, not realizing that life is made up of little things. Frank Clark. This became a credo of mine. Attempt the impossible in order to improve your work. Bette Davis. We achieve everything by our efforts alone. Our fate is not decided by an almighty God. We decide our own fate by our actions. You have to gain mastery over yourself. It is not a matter of sitting back and accepting. Daw Aung San Suu Kyi. Unless a man undertakes more than he possibly can do, he will never do all that he can. Henry Drummond. Hell, there are no rules here. We're trying to accomplish something. Thomas Alva Edison. We succeed only as we identify in life or in war or in anything else a single overriding objective, and make all other considerations bend to that one objective. General Dwight David Eisenhower. What is the recipe for successful achievement? To my mind, there are just 4 essential ingredients. Choose a career you love. Give it the best there is in you. Seize your opportunities and be a member of the team. In no country but America, I believe, is it possible to fulfill all 4 of these requirements. Benjamin F. Fairless. To understand the heart and mind of a person, look not at what he has already achieved, but at what he aspires to. Khalil Gibran. You can finish school and even make it easy, but you never finish your education, and it's seldom easy. Zig Ziglar. If we are striving, if we are working, if we are trying to the best of our ability to improve day by day, then we are in the line of our duty. Heber J. Grant. Never measure the height of a mountain until you have reached the top. Then you will see how low it was. Dag Hammarskjöld. My mother drew a distinction between achievement and success. She said that achievement is the knowledge that you have studied and worked hard and done the best that is in you. Success is being praised by others. That is nice, but not as important or satisfying. Always aim for achievement and forget about success. Helen Hayes. The best job goes to the person who can get it done without passing the buck or coming back with excuses. Napoleon Hill. Most X-rated films are advertised as adult entertainment for mature adults, when in reality they are juvenile entertainment for immature and insecure people. Zig Ziglar. We are more ready to try the untried when what we do is inconsequential. Hence the remarkable fact that many inventions had their birth as toys. Eric Hoffer, decide what you want. Decide what you are willing to exchange for it. Establish your priorities and go to work. H.L. Hunt. Most of us can learn to live in perfect comfort on higher levels of power. Everyone knows that on any given day, there are energies slumbering in him, which the incitements of that day do not call forth. Compared with what we ought to be, we are only half awake. It is evident that our organism has stored up reserves of energy that are ordinarily not called upon, deeper and deeper strata of explosible material, ready for use by anyone who probes so deep. The human individual usually lives far within his limits. William James. Only those who dare to fail greatly can ever achieve greatly. Robert Francis Kennedy. It is time for us all to stand and cheer for the doer, the achiever, the one who recognizes the challenge and does something about it. Vince Lombardi. Many marriages would be better if the husband and wife clearly understood that they're on the same side. Zig Ziglar. You don't drown by falling in water. You only drown if you stay there. Zig Ziglar. Where the willingness is great, the difficulties cannot be great. Niccolo Machiavelli. The more you express gratitude for what you have, the more you will have to express gratitude for. Zig Ziglar. Hell begins on the day when God grants us a clear vision of all that we might have achieved, of all the gifts which we might have wasted, of all that we might have done, which we did not do. Giancarlo Menotti. Someone has defined genius as intensity of purpose, the ability to do, the patience to wait. Put these together, and you have genius, and you have achievement. Leo J. Muir. Only if you reach the boundary will the boundary recede before you. And if you don't, if you confine your efforts, the boundary will shrink to accommodate itself to your efforts. And you can only expand your capacities by working to the very limit. Hugh Nibley. Achievement is largely the product of steadily raising one's levels of aspiration and expectation. Jack Nicklaus. Never tell people how to do things. Tell them what to do, and they will surprise you with their ingenuity. General George Smith Patton Jr. 5 minutes just before going to sleep, given to a bit of directed imagination regarding achievement possibilities of the morrow, will steadily and increasingly bear fruit, particularly if all ideas of difficulty, worry, or fear are resolutely ruled out and replaced by those of accomplishment and smiling courage. Frederick Pierce. Competition is a byproduct of productive work, not its goal. A creative man is motivated by the desire to achieve, not by the desire to beat others. Ayn Rand. She looked at the crowd and she felt, simultaneously, astonishment that they should stare at her when this event was so personally her own, that no communication about it was possible, and a sense of fitness that they should be here, that they should want to see it, because the sight of an achievement was the greatest gift a human being could offer to others. Ayn Rand. There are only two roads that lead to something like human happiness. They are marked by the words, love and achievement. In order to be happy oneself, it is necessary to make at least one other person happy. The secret of human happiness is not in self-seeking, but in self-forgetting. Dr. Theodore Reich. A handful of pine seed will cover mountains with the green majesty of forest. I too will set my face to the wind and throw my handful of seed on high. William Sharp. Kids go where there is excitement. They stay where there is love. Zig Ziglar. The things we accept as normal and enjoy today were considered impossible 25 years ago and beyond the power of man to achieve. The early Buck Rogers and Flash Gordon comic strips were fantastic and considered outside the realm of man's attainment. They were considered figments of man's imagination, but now many of these miraculous, imaginative things have become realities, and man is pushing onward toward new and higher goals of achievement. We are now mentally prepared for every new invention and advancement in technology and the sciences, but nevertheless stand amazed at man's powers to create and achieve. These outstanding accomplishments, which approach the miraculous to me, are unquestioned evidence of man's divine nature. Man has sent up satellites which circle the globe. He has taken the breathtaking, miraculous ride about the Earth. He expects to circle the moon and even land man on the outer planets. Also, he considers feasible floating platforms in outer space as intermediate stations for interplanetary travel. Delbert L. Stapley. When you give a man a dole, you deny him his dignity. And when you deny him his dignity, you rob him his destiny. Zig Ziglar. The more you express gratitude for what you have, the more you will have to express gratitude for. Zig Ziglar. Periods of tranquility are seldom prolific of creative achievement. Mankind has to be stirred up. Alfred North Whitehead. Do not let what you cannot do interfere with what you can do. John Wooden. You are not here merely to make a living. You are here in order to enable the world to live more amply, with greater vision, with a finer spirit of hope and achievement. You are here to enrich the world, and you impoverish yourself if you forget the errand. Woodrow Wilson. You can do anything you wish to do, have anything you wish to have, be anything you wish to be. Robert Collier. Man is not the sum of what he has, but the totality of what he does not yet have, of what he might have. Jean-Paul Sartre. Achievement seems to be connected with action. Successful men and women keep moving. They make mistakes, but they don't quit. Conrad Hilton. Personal development is your springboard to personal excellence. Ongoing, continuous, non-stop personal development literally assures you that there is no limit to what you can accomplish. Brian Tracy. The only people who achieve much are those who want knowledge so badly that they seek it while the conditions are still favorable. Favorable conditions never come. C.S. Lewis. The only way to discover the limits of the possible is to go beyond them into the impossible. Anonymous. It's not the situation, but whether we react, negative, or respond, positive, to the situation that's important. Zig Ziglar.